Hello guys, in this tutorial we're going to go ahead and talk about the continue. Now what this continue keyword does? This keyword will stop the current loop iteration and moves to the next one. So what it will do is it will skip the one iteration that it's doing right now, but it will go ahead and continue with the next one. So this keyword, let me explain to you, this keyword stops the current loop iteration and moves to the continue keyword stops the current loop iteration and moves to the next one. So let me go ahead and explain you with an example. So let's say we have a list, just like in the previous example. Let's say we have a list here, and that is a list of integer. Okay, and let's say the name of my list is my list here is equals to new of list and list of integer, and let's say the numbers are 7, 90, 77, 6 and 5. So let's say these are the elements in my list. So in the previous tutorial you have already know what is break statement does. So in this tutorial we're going to go ahead and see the difference between the break and the continue here. So what the continue does is whenever it encounters the continue, it will stop the current loop iteration, but it will go to the next one. It will not break out of the loop. It will not exit the loop, but it will continue with the next iteration, but it will skip the only that iteration. So for example, this is my list here, and I'm going to go ahead and go through the elements using the for each loop, and I'll say it will go through each element, and whenever it encounters, so for the rest of them it is going to go ahead and display whenever it encounters number 77, whenever the value becomes equals to or value is equals to 77, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say continue, and after the loop I'm going to go ahead and hit the continue button, and then here I'm going to go ahead and display the value. So now what's going to happen here is first time these are the elements in our list. So these are the elements in our list: 100, 7, 90, 77, 6 and 5. So I'm using the for each loop, and the for each loop is very similar to the for loop. Instead of, you don't have to worry about the size and all that. This is simply go through the each element of your collection. So here we are saying go through every element of my list and one by one, and if the value is equals to 77, means first time the value is 100. Okay, so this condition does not meet, so this condition will not get executed. It will directly come to the line number 10 and it will print the value of value, so which is 100. Next time the value will be equals to 7. So now it will again check if the value is equals to 77. No, still the continue statement will not get executed. Then it will go ahead and run directly come to this line number 10 and it will print the value, so that is equals to 7. Again the value becomes 90. So 90 is equals to 77. No, again the continue statement will not get executed, and then it will directly come to line number 10 and it will print the value which is equals to 90. Now the fourth time, what is the fourth time? Fourth time the value is equals to 77. Okay, now this condition meets. Once the condition meets, it goes through the continue statement. So once it encounters the continue statement, it will not go to line number 10. It will go to the next iteration. Means it will skip that iteration and directly jump to the number 6. So then it will go ahead and print, then it will see value is equals to 6. No, it is not. It will not go to the continue. It will print the value 6 here. And then next time the value becomes 5, which is not equals to 77. So the continue statement will not get executed. And then what will happen is this statement will get run and that will print the value which is equals to 5. So in the case of continue, the loop will still go, but that particular iteration will not get executed. Okay, the keyword stops the current loop iteration and moves to the next one. So this should be the output of our program. Let's go ahead and see if we are thinking right. So now if I go back and hit the execute button here, you can see that the 77 number did not got printed. Now if I go back and let's say I have twice 77 in my list. I have 77 here and then I have 90, 900. So now what will happen is it will go through the whole list and whenever it encounters 70, 77, it will skip it. So the 77 will not get printed and rest of those will get printed. So the first time, let me go ahead and change the value because it gets confused. So J, and then I'm going to go ahead and print J here. So my list has these elements. My list contains these elements: 100, 7, 90, 77, 6, 5, 77, and 900. Now I'm using the for each loop to iterate over the elements. So first time the element j is equals to 100. So first time the j is pointing to 100 because j goes through the list item one by one. So j is pointing to 100. If now it comes to this if condition. If value is, sorry, here this will be changed to, there's nothing, it will be changed to j. So j is equals to 77. Is that a true statement? No, j is 100 and you're comparing it against 77. It's false. So then what will happen is this statement continue will not get executed. It will directly come to the line number 10 and it will print the value of j, which is 100. So it is going to go ahead and print 100 here. Next thing, the j becomes 7. So now j is pointing to 7. Now j is equals, now the condition is checked. Is the condition meet? No, it does not meet. So continue statement will not get executed. It will directly come to the line number 10 and it will print the value of j, which is 7. So it will go ahead and print number 7 here. Next time j becomes 90. So the value of j becomes 90. Now, is j equals to 77? No, it's not true. So this part of the code will not run. It will directly come to line number 10 and it will print the value of j, which is 90. So this will get printed here. Next time the value of j becomes 77. Then again the condition will be checked and this time the condition meets. And now it encountered a continue. So what is that happens is it will stop the current right away and it will come back to the next iteration. So this line will not get printed and then 77 will not get printed. Then it will go ahead and jump to the next iteration, which is j becomes 6. Again, then it goes through the same condition. Is 6 equals to 77? No. Continue statement will not get executed. And then what will happen is it will directly come to the debug statement. So far we had 100 printed, 77, 90, and then 6 because 6 will get printed again. Now j is pointing to 5. That's the next element. Now is the condition meets? No. It will not go and hit the continue and it will directly come to line number 10 and it will print the value of j, which is 5. So it will go ahead and print 5. Next time the j value becomes 77. Now is the condition meets? Yes. It encountered a continue, means it will skip it and it will jump to the next one. Means whatever is after that, it will not get executed. So then what will happen here is 77 will not get executed because it will never come to line number 10. It will directly skip this whole iteration and move to the next iteration. And the next iteration is for 900. So j becomes 900. If the condition meets, no. So it will directly come to line number 10 and it will print the value of j, which is 900. So this will be the output of the program. So let's go ahead and execute this program and see if our output matches. So we're going to go ahead and hit the execute button here. And this, if you go to the debug here, you will see everything got printed except 77. So let's go ahead and do a third example using the continue. So now you should get a difference here. Break, what will it do is it will stop the entire loop whenever that get encountered. It will stop the entire loop. But the continue will only skip that iteration and continue with the next ones. Okay, and continue with the next ones. So let's go ahead and do another example to illustrate that. So now let's go ahead and create a list of string. And let's say the name of my string is called my list is equals to new of list. It is of string type and these are the elements. So I have cat. These are the elements in my list. So beer, then I have a dog, bird, and then I have giraffe. So these are the elements in my list. Okay, so this is my list. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use the for each loop and I will go through each of the element of my list and I will go ahead and print the values for that. But if the value, if that particular element value starts with, okay, this is a method available in the string. If it starts with the letter B, then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and continue. Means I will skip that iteration and I will go ahead. Otherwise, if that condition meets, I'll go ahead and hit the continue. If the condition does not meet, what will happen is it's going to go ahead and debug, and it will print the value of J. So let's go ahead and I'll walk you through what's going to happen. So now we have a list here of cat, bear, dog, bird, and giraffe. So this is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my list here. So I'm using a for each loop to iterate over the list. So first time the J is pointing to cat, right? So is J starts with B? Is the cat starts with B? No. So it will not hit the continue. So this particular loop, this particular block of code will not get executed because this particular element does not get starts with B. System.debug of J. So it will go ahead and print the value of J. What is J here? Cat. So it will go ahead and print cat. Next time J becomes beer because J will point to the next element. Now, if J starts with B, so is beer starts with the letter B? Yes. This time the condition meets and it will go inside this block and it will hit the continue. So once the continue runs, it will skip this iteration and directly jump to the next one. It will not come to this line. It will not go ahead and execute line number 8 because right from here itself, it will skip it and jump to the next iteration. The next iteration is for dog. Now J is equals to dog. Now J starts with the letter B. Is dog starts with letter B? No. So the condition does not meet. This particular part of code will not get executed and it will directly come to this line and it will print the value of J, which is equals to dog. Now next time J is equal pointing to bird. Now in this case, does the J starts with the B? Yes, because it has a letter B in at the starting. Now what will happen is since the condition meets, the continue will get executed. And what will happen is it will skip this iteration and directly jump to the next one. So J will become giraffe now. So this particular line of code will not get executed in this case. Now it became giraffe. Now does giraffe starts with the letter B? No, it starts with the letter G. So the condition does not meet. Continue statement will not get executed and directly it will come to the line number 8 and it will print the value of J, which is giraffe. So what should be the output of this program? The output of the program should be these three animals: cat, dog, and giraffe. One point here to note, guys, whatever you write after continue, important, whatever statement you write after continue, and if the continue gets executed, none of the statements will get executed after continue. So no matter whatever you write, that will not get executed once you hit the continue statement. It will go through the next iteration. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute this program. So it starts with, use the wrong method. Now if we go back and debug, you'll see here that it only printed all the three animals which does not start with the letter B. Everything else got printed because for them there was a continue statement. So this is the difference between the continue and the break statement.